What's going on, everybody? A couple of things real quick. This is just a little session for us to touch base with you for just a minute. First thing, I had a lady reach out in response to the episode where we talked about Mark Dodrell. Her first name is Britt. I will withhold her last name. You know, some people don't really want that kind of stuff out there. So just err on the side of caution here. But anyways, she was the one that we addressed in the podcast. We read her comment. And she had mentioned something about that she had called Mark Dodrell a hypocrite, or said he had a hypocritical stance or something like that. And we had said that we didn't think that Mark Dodrell was necessarily guilty of being a hypocrite. So this lady decided to write into us, and I told her I would make sure and reference this on the podcast. So here's what she wrote. In response to the podcast mention, I still stick by my opinion that he's being hypocritical. I understand where they, the podcasters talking about us, say Mark's not being hypocritical by saying what he said, while his wife is wearing pants. That was the scenario that what we portrayed, was he would be a hypocrite if he was taking a big stand against women wearing pants while his wife also wore pants. What we're getting at. She said, I get that. In my eyes, if you're going to take one verse and drill it into people to follow, but turn a blind eye to the verse on down the road that mentions the types of cloth not to wear, that's hypocritical. Not everyone will agree with that because we all have opinions, but just felt I should clarify a bit on the hypocritical comment I made in Greg's post. Greg's post gave me that push to get the closure and seek out the help I need to heal from what I've experienced in the CHM. Britt, I appreciate your point, and I agree. You are 100% correct. It looks hypocritical to me when somebody picks and chooses and ignores some parts of the Bible while pulling other parts out. So thank you very much for the correction, and I gladly take it. Okay, next. Many of you, I'm guessing, have seen the fiasco that's been going on lately involving Britt and Holiness and Dan Stetler. By saying fiasco, it's not that I think that Britt and Holiness or that Natalie is doing anything wrong. The fiasco, the bad part, I think, is purely on how Dan Stetler, what he said, and then the way that a lot of his followers, his supporters, are then trying to back him up. So I just want to let you know, we did record an episode about this. We recorded it, I think, the second day after this came out. It was really quick. So it's now been close to a week. So there may be some things changed or some things addressed since we recorded that episode. You might notice that. But anyways, I want to let you know. Right now, actually, the podcast is being looked over. I asked a couple people to listen to it to make sure we weren't being buffoons, at least not too big of buffoons. That's where it's at. Hopefully it will be out within the next day or so, maybe even tomorrow, but we'll see. So yeah, that's where it's at. And I did ask Dan Stetler and his wife I asked his wife, she's the one on Facebook, if her or him would want to be on the podcast. We'd glad to have them on. And I stand by that. Mrs. Stetler said that she pretty much politely declined, but she said she would leave it up to Dan. Still welcome on, absolutely, but I wanted to get our initial response out there first. I really think we said kind of what we wanted to say, and I definitely wanted to get that out there. And the reason being, I know that there's many people, and some of y'all are listeners, that you have to put up with this garbage. And I want to let you know that that's exactly what it was that you heard was garbage. Anyways, love you. I'll see you soon.